Initially, people thought that we were crazy for wanting to turn an abandoned baseball stadium into apartments.
There were 2,000 cash for clunker cars parked on the infield. 4-foot-high weeds and 15-year-old trees were growing up in the infield because the property hadn't been used as a baseball stadium in quite a long time.
Hi, welcome to Stadium Lofts in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Michael Cox, and I'm 54 years old.
I'm John Watson, and I'm 65 years old. We took an abandoned baseball stadium that the city of Indianapolis gave us for $1 and turned it into 138 apartment units. There are 4 owners of the project. It's myself, my 2 sons, and Michael. My youngest son was a development associate and worked for us at the time. My older son is a passive investor. I was the board chair of Indiana Landmarks, a not-for-profit historic preservation organization, and we were postulating ideas as to what could be done with Busch Stadium. About 9 months later, after we had come up with a few ideas, they approached me again and said, if you don't do that idea you came up with to turn it into apartments, it's going to be lost. They're going to tear it down. So we put together a team and explored whether or not it was possible to do it. The city's goal was bigger than ours. We were looking to do an apartment project. The city's goal was to create a catalyst for the neighborhood and to stretch downtown beyond its current boundaries.
As well as save an historic baseball stadium that had a lot of history in Indianapolis.
As a condition of transferring the property to us, the city mandated that we build an additional 144 units outside of the stadium. Those units were built in 4 separate buildings adjacent to the stadium.
The profits from the project are split proportionally based on the ownership of the individual partners.
The cash flows from this project have been used to create other projects that we've done, as well as we're constantly reinvesting back in this project to maintain it as a great place to live.
When we first saw the stadium, we were excited about the potential of the project. We were a little apprehensive of could it really be done.
Our biggest concern when we started this project was who was going to show up and rent it. There wasn't much housing in the neighborhood. There wasn't much economic activity in the neighborhood. We were kind of pioneers when we did this project. And so we were concerned about its success, and we underwrote it very conservatively.
Busch Stadium, from a technical standpoint, was probably the most difficult project that we've done in terms of solving the construction and engineering issues that needed to be resolved in order to be able to build the project, while maintaining the character of the building and also while turning it into apartment units people would want to live in.
In the renovation, we wanted it to be stadium-like. We didn't want to take all the stadium character away. So we designed it such that when you walked into the stadium, you felt like you were walking into a historic stadium rather than an apartment building. We retained the billboards that were in the outfield, the brick wall that was in the outfield, the scoreboard. We retained the infield, and we put back the base paths in concrete to kind of pay homage to what was here before. In addition, we saved the press box on top of the 3rd floor of the building. It doesn't serve a real function anymore, but it is there because it was.
Another interesting feature that we saved were the ticket booths at the front of the stadium. So as you walk up to the front door, you still see the old ticket booths with the metal grating in them, and those areas are now inside apartments as closets. The budget for renovating Busch Stadium into apartments was about $14 million, and we stayed within budget.
The original construction loans have long been paid off, and they've been replaced with long-term permanent financing. The Stadium Flats project was built about 2 years after the Stadium Lofts project was completed. At that time, when we opened, all of those were fully leased as well.
The overall development cost of the Stadium Flats portion of the project was about $13 million.
As you walk into the stadium from the outside, you're walking towards the ticket booths that were original to the outside of the building. As you pass through the front door, you walk into the underside of the stadium still being visible.
Hi, come on into one of our study rooms. So we have 3 study rooms here, and they're located under the grandstand. So we have high ceilings all the way up to the old grandstand. Lots of open space and lots of light. Come check out our fitness center. The fitness center is another one of the spaces we built under the grandstand here. We have spaces for cardio, whether it be treadmills or bikes, free weights. And down on the end, we have another space to do personal workouts with a bench and dumbbells. Also in the fitness room, we have further sort of accented our decorating by putting some images from the old stadium on the windows. The last space we constructed under the grandstand is our bullpen. Originally, this was a conference room. You can also see in the bullpen, we have old ticket gates where the turnstiles used to be. We left installed and built walls in and around them.
We also built a courtyard for our residents to hang out in. Come on in. In the courtyard, which is adjacent to the field, we built a gas fireplace, tables and chairs, and a nice place for people to hang out. Welcome to Section 304 of Stadium Lofts. We have all the conventional amenities, full kitchen with stainless appliances, granite countertops, washer dryer, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then we were able to expose the steel trusses and tongue and groove decking of the original roof of the stadium. One of the unconventional things we did was we exposed all the concrete floors in the units. We poured new concrete and then polished it for a finished floor. When we did the balconies, we wanted them to feel like you were at the stadium. So we used chain link fencing for the railings to create that stadium type appeal.
For me, completing this project, I found really satisfying. In one way, it was the culmination of a childhood dream. I played baseball growing up, and I always thought maybe I'd get into the Hall of Fame as a baseball player.
When we opened the project, we did tours. There was a tremendous amount of interest by people in Indianapolis coming to tour this project because almost everybody had been here for a baseball game sometime during their lifetime. And many people, this was the first experience they had going to a baseball game with their dad. So the connections were deep, and people couldn't wait to come tour the project.
The neighborhood and the public and the city were all ecstatic that we were able to save the building and bring some new housing to this neighborhood.